They say a greedy person sets a trap for themselves and calls it a blessing. This is the story of Dr. Femi, the doctor who sold healthy babies to the rich for money. In the quiet town of Ayetoru, nestled just outside the bustling edges of Lagos, stood a hospital. But not just any hospital. Mount Carmel, a place so lavish, so meticulously decorated, that it looked more like a luxury hotel than a clinic. With glass walls, marble floors, and chandelier-lit corridors. It was the dream of every expectant mother. It was owned by Dr. Femi, a tall, charismatic doctor, always seen in crisp white coats. People said he had healing hands. He was loved by the rich, feared by the poor, and respected by all. Mount Carmel was a place where women prayed to give birth. It was known as the safest place to welcome new life. But not all that glitters is gold. A 25-year-old hairstylist named Kemi had saved every kobo she earned from braiding and weaving just to afford a room at Mount Carmel. She painted the nursery in yellow and white, folded tiny baby coats with trembling hands, and sang lullabies to her growing tummy. She was ready to become a mother, but on the night she went into labor, her joy soon turned into nightmare. Her screams echoed through the sterile walls, and then came silence. The next morning, Dr. Femi came with a calm face and told her that the baby was stillborn. Stillborn? She screamed. She wept. She clawed at the bed sheets and demanded to see her child. But no one came. Nobody. No grave. Just silence. She wasn't the only one. Dara, a banker with a corner office at Ikoyi, was told her baby never made it out of the womb. Bola, a fiery market woman with hands like stone, was told her twins were lost in labor. Simi, who sold fine lace and Ankara at Oshodi, sobbed as she held an empty baby wrap. The whispers began in corners and markets. Mount Carmel swallows children. But no one dared say more. The hospital was protected by wealth and mystery. It was untouchable. Until Nurse Hilda arrived. Fresh out of NYSC, Hilda was young, beautiful, and quite spiritual. She hummed hymns under her breath and wrote Bible verses in her notebook. The other nurses thought she was naive. She thought so too, until she started noticing the red flags. She was often asked to leave early. The reasons were polite, but unnecessary. One evening, she decided to stay behind, unnoticed. She hid in the shadows of the neonatal ward. That's when she heard the whispers, saw the flickering flies on the hospital's digital records. Babies listed as stillborn, though she had seen them breathing just hours earlier. Then came the night that changed everything. 2 healthy twins had just been delivered. She recognized the mother, a cheerful teacher named Ifoma. The babies were perfect, but hours later, they were gone from their cribs. Hilda, curious and cautious, followed quiet footsteps to the rear exit of the hospital. There, under the moonlight, she saw Dr. Femi with 2 nurses standing beside a sleek black SUV. A woman in flowing lace stepped out, her face hidden behind dark sunglasses. She reached into her purse and handed Dr. Femi a stack of cash. Then, with motherly precision, she carried the twins into her car and drove off. Hilda's heart stopped. She barely made it back to the nurse's station. Her hands shook for days, but her spirit would not rest. She began documenting. Photographs, names, timestamps, back of files. She stole copies of deleted birth records and recorded hush-hush conversations behind closed doors. When she had gathered enough, she wore a hoodie and took a night bus to Lagos Island and walked into the office of Olamide Johnson, the most fearless journalist in the state. "I want to stay anonymous," she said. The journalist, a sharp-eyed, skeptical woman, reviewed the evidence. It was undeniable. Together, they set a trap. A healthy, pregnant woman who was full to term was planted. Cameras were hidden, reporters were stationed. When Dr. Femi came with his syringe to sedate her for a fake emergency C-section, the door burst open, and heavily armed policemen rushed in. Dr. Femi was caught red-handed. The next day, the headlines exploded. Cradle of secrets. Baby trafficking ring busted at Mount Carmel. Hospital of horrors. Dr. Femi arrested for selling babies to the elite. The nation reeled. Women sobbed in front of televisions, recognizing the pain in those stories. Mount Carmel was shut down, its luxury walls sealed with police tape and shame. But Nurse Hilda, she didn't wait to be thanked. She left the city quietly, not even revealing her name to the journalist. She walked away with her Bible and her silence, knowing she had done something bigger than herself. To this day, mothers whisper prayers for the one who saved their children. They don't know her name, but they call her the light in the dark.